Hi there, and I'm Doug, and I'm running for president from 2028. And I was asked, how long have I been thinking about running for president? Well, when I was 5 or 6, um, it was something that was brought up in a class that anybody could be president, and I didn't think anything about it. Got a little bit older, and we got to um, middle school, and it was brought up again, and I'm like, this is a crazy idea. Who would want to do that? And I got into high school, and I was, again, you know, I wasn't in the crowd that was politically connected, nor did I really want to be. And I got older and started a family and went to college and moved to Virginia. And a friend of mine, Arnie Duncan, says, you know, our government only works when good men decide to do something, because it always fails when good men do nothing. I'm not sure that that's the way the quote is supposed to go, but that's how he gave it to me. And I thought about it, and I was like, this place is a swamp. I don't really like the politics here. I like living here, but it's not really my juice. And then about a year or two ago, I was looking at how things were being run and where the world was, and I recognized I wasn't ready at that time, but maybe it's something I should consider. So, literally, the decision to do this has been in the last 18 months. And 6 months ago is when I decided that that is something that I would do and start. Hence, I'm here. It is a challenge. There's lots to learn, and I don't mind learning. Learning is part of life. Um, Education is not something that I have had, um, I would say, not great success with. Um, but I'm constantly learning. I'm learning how to do new things every day. And I'm constantly trying to improve myself. And with as much as the world is changing and churning every day, if you think that there's nothing new to learn, then you're kidding yourself. There's always something new to learn. Um, but one of the big problems I see today is kids aren't being taught how to learn. They're being taught how to cram information. They're they're taking in and being a sponge of information, but they're not learning how to learn. And what a shame. I mean, it started when I was a kid, where these ideas of test scores and ways to provide metrics to see how well people are learning. But it's not really learning, because at the end of the day, a third grader can tell you 10 times 10 is 100, but how are they able to use that information? It's just information, it's not knowledge. You can throw out E equals MC squared, and maybe some will know what that means, but most of these kids have no clue what that even means. And if they did, there's even a fewer number who even know how to utilize that equation in any way that makes sense. You know, we're at a point in time where knowledge is doubling so fast, and I don't know about you, but that just means I'm getting stupider every day. It's not a good thing. Yet I'm out here trying to learn, and I want kids to be able to learn. And I don't want them to learn rote stuff. I want them to learn how to learn. I want them to learn how to be able to use the resources that they have and then create something new and make life better. You know, we've got over 8 billion people on this planet. We have 200 or so leaders, or should we call them heads of state, who are out there and they meet on a somewhat regular basis. A lot of them are leaders of very small countries. And then you have the behemoth countries that have, you know, hundreds of millions of people who have leaders who, to be honest, they're pretty much narcissists. They really are more concerned about their legacy than about the people that they're supposed to be serving. Leadership is not to be something where it's a dictatorship, and yet there's a lot of feeling like there's dictatorships in this world. And they're in places where we claim they're democracies. And yet, most people don't even really understand what a democracy is. Because the United States is not a democracy, it's a republic. And they don't understand how a republic really works, but they want to say it's a democracy. But we're not a true democracy here in the United States. We are a republic. And yes, we do elect our leaders, but often our leaders, they know we're a republic, and they recognize the gravity of the position they're in and the power that they wield as being elected, as being the representative of hundreds of thousands of people. It is a big responsibility. And yet, a lot of these people that are elected in government, they're looking at what power they gain and how they can manipulate other people in other places so that they can bring money to their fiefdom and make it look like that they're benefiting their constituents, when in reality, they're being like Nancy Pelosi, who is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet her income doesn't suggest that she could ever have made hundreds of millions of dollars. We have Republicans who have made stock trades that have made them tens of millions of dollars. If they weren't in the position that they're in, they would have never had the information that made it so that they could have made those kinds of of trades that would make them that kind of money. So by all pretense, they're using their position and the knowledge they have from their position as a way to insider trade, making themselves millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And granted, they're using some of that money to help themselves get reelected, and they're using some of that money to look like they're these altruistic people by handing out funds and using them in charitable manners. But they're not being that charitable. They're being charitable to themselves. And they're promoting an idea of what they want the nation to look like for themselves, not what the people of the United States want the country to look like. And in some ways, granted, I have to put my ideas out there and what I think the country should look like. I think that people in the United States shouldn't be penalized for earning. Why should we have an income tax? Some say it's so we can pay for the wars that we've been in. Some have said it's so we can pay for social programs that we couldn't otherwise do. And we've put into play a lot of things that we call entitlement, saying that we're entitled to things as American citizens. Now, honestly, the only thing I don't even think we're entitled to actually be born. We have so many rules and regulations that entitle women to decide whether they want to be mothers or not, but it's not an entitlement that we be born, because the mother gets to make that choice. And then once we are born, then it's up to our family to take care of us. And yet government wants to steal from our pockets straightway so that it can have the funds and resources that it wants to do. And honestly, our government has not shown itself to be the best steward of our money. But our government needs money. It needs to be able to fund certain activities that are government activities. And one of those activities is our military. We need a strong military. A strong military helps deter, but that means that we need to be investing in our military and the people who run the military, and we need to have leadership that understands that. We need to be utilizing our military to protect our borders and to ensure that it's not being overrun. We need to be using our military smartly and not just throwing them around the world. We also have to recognize that there are people in this world who are against the United States and what we've done. Years ago, a country named Afghanistan was being helped by the United States to prevent Russia from taking it over. When Russia finally decided they had been defeated and they could no longer battle in Afghanistan, instead of the United States coming to their aid and helping them out and providing them with educational opportunities and help them with building opportunities and using the resources they have to become a stronger and a more knowledgeable country and utilize the United States effectively so that we could do with Afghanistan as we have done with some other countries where we benefited them and helped them grow. We left, and it placed a vacuum that brought in people that initially were considered our friends, that because we pulled out, they said that shows the United States' true colors, and that they're fair weather friends. They don't care about anybody. All they care about is themselves. Well, I'm here to tell you that I believe in peace. I believe in peace through strength, but I also believe in helping my friends. And that means not leaving my friends when they've ended a bad situation and they need help, but to continue to provide the help that they need so that they grow into a country that is able to have values that are ones that desire peace and understand the need to have a strong military to avoid those powers who want to come in and try and take them over. So that friends like Ukraine has in Europe that is providing money and equipment and knowledge and training so that they can build their own military equipment, but also bringing in that military equipment and helping them to find new ways to fight a war. The United States has not been a very good friend to Ukraine. We say the right words. We have the right values, but are we doing it in the right way? Are we doing what we should be doing to create a situation where countries' borders are secure and not being infringed by other countries who are being imperialists? Are we trying to give offshoot fringe groups power that they don't need or should not have? I mean, we've got terrorists around this globe where the United States has provided hundreds of millions of dollars, which then has been turned around and used against us. What the hell? So, anyway, long and short of this is, yes, I am running for president, and hopefully you've learned a little bit about me, some more about me anyway. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and push this out to your friends. Let other people know what I'm trying to do, and hopefully we can get a bigger following going on here.